Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a film review for a movie that I love deeply. I saw this, I think, last year. I want to say it's last year, either this or the year before in 2019 when it actually came out. Haunt from Shudder. Dude, this is written and directed by the two fellows who wrote A Quiet Place. What is that dude? John Krasinski. I love that guy. He's great as Jim on The Office. I love him in everything I've seen him in. John Krasinski directed that. These guys that wrote that movie, which is a fantastic movie, you haven't seen A Quiet Place, you're missing out. I haven't seen part 2. I need to watch that. Anyway, they directed and wrote this, and Haunt is like the ultimate Halloween slasher aside from a Michael Myers movie. I recently rewatched this about 4 or 5 days ago. I watched it over the weekend when I had a 3-day weekend for my anniversary with my wife. And I watched it, and it was just as fun, if not more fun, this time around. Because the first time I saw it, it was the mystery and the curiosity about what was going on that carried me through the film, and then the horrified moments when the gore and everything would come through. It is a very gory flick, but it's a very tense movie in general. This time around watching it, I knew what to expect, and now I was looking for the finer details throughout the film, and I saw plenty of that. Haunt is a great movie for rewatches, just so you know. Anyway, in case you don't know the story about Haunt, this movie was essentially about a group of kids. I think it's on Halloween night, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's on like around Halloween or on Halloween. They decide to go to an extreme haunt when they hear about these things. Now, one of the characters is our main girl here. I don't know her from anything as far as I know. I don't really know any of these people from anything, even the antagonists in the movie that I don't want to talk too much about. I don't know anybody in this movie, but they're all phenomenal. I just want to make that very clear. I don't care if they're just a minor character in the movie. They're all good. They're all well cast. They all put a really good performance in here. They all decide to go to an extreme haunt type of thing. And when they go to this particular place, kind of in the middle of nowhere, they get there, there's no one there. They're used to seeing big lines and stuff for these kind of jump house, haunt house, scare house things. And they encounter a clown who's very quiet. He won't speak a word to them. He's very weird. He does a little magic trick for them, and he lets them inside of this garage-looking building. And as they go through from kind of room to room, they see different things. For example, they see a witch stab a woman at one point. They see very convincing performances from different people, and then things very quickly devolve into whether the staff that are wearing these, by the way, these are like those cheapo Walmart masks, you know, where it's just the face. It's not like if you go to Walmart right now, as a matter of fact, this past weekend I saw this. If you go to Walmart right now, you'll see a Michael Myers costume that's just the face, not the whole mask for the whole head, just the face with a little bit of brown hair, like poop-colored brown hair. It looks like garbage. That's the kind of mask they wear here. One wears a clown, like I said. One wears a witch. One wears I think it's a zombie or a Frankenstein monster, something like that. There's one guy wearing a Dracula one. You'll see different things like that. And one wears a ghost, by the way. I love their design as kind of our antagonists type. But anyway, things are starting to go crazy. The group starts to wonder if maybe these guys are really kind of kidnapping them, or maybe going to kill them. They don't really know for sure, and they start to suspect a lot more is happening. Anyway, I don't want to tell you too much. It's kind of a basic plot, you probably think, and if you haven't seen this, you might not want to if you're thinking it just sounds kind of generic, but I'm telling you, this is one of my most recommended slasher films I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not even your typical slasher movie. There is so much craft to this, not only in the directing, not only in the writing, not only in the character acting or anything like that. Everything in this, in my opinion, is perfect. I love it. I think it's perfect. I think even down to the freaking the gore and the insanity, the tension that builds up amongst scene to scene. It's scary, man. It's just a scary movie. And if you like gorier flicks and more brutal movies, this is for you, especially for you splatterpunk fans out there like myself. If you're a fan of Brian Keene and Richard Lehman, you need to see this movie. I'm going to tell you that right now. Again, the performances from everybody are really great. The writing is really great for everybody. I love the character-focused stuff. That really makes people feel real in this movie. Even down to the villains of the film. They feel real, you know? The cinematography of the film looks great alongside the directing. All of it looks physically great. One of my favorite things about this film are the sets. Usually when you have these haunt house movies, they feel kind of cheap. One of my favorite slashers of all time, called Dark Ride. If you haven't seen that, part of the old Horror Film Fest series they used to put out in theaters, along with like Grave Dancers and Lake Mungo and all of that. Dark Ride, I own that on DVD. I love that movie deeply. I can't believe people don't talk about that movie more. I can't wait to talk about it this year for the Halloween reviews and whatever. Dark Ride feels like a really solid movie. I love the sets of it because of nostalgia, but I think in hindsight, a lot of it might feel a little bit cheaper when it comes to the actual sets within the haunt house compared to something like this. This feels like you actually went to a real haunt, you know? Like, not like these, let's have this pop out here and this pop out here. This feels like legit, like real legit. It feels like the most memorable of any movie haunt house that I've ever seen in my entire life, you know? And I love that about it. It's great. It has some great humor in the writing, by the way. It all works. It's a great flick. I don't really know how to describe it any other way. And the music really complements it too. I think it really kind of blends in nicely where it's not really in your face, but it helps things become more tense. And you have some scenes, particularly one where characters have to crawl through kind of like an air vent sized little puzzle room type thing. I don't want to give you too much away. When they have to do this, there's like no music playing at all. You're just hearing like the creaking of the boards and whatever. And it's scary. It's genuinely scary in my opinion. I don't really have much more to say about Haunt, but if you haven't seen this yet, you are missing out. Haunt is one of the greatest slashers in my opinion. I love it. I wish we could get a sequel of some sort, but I understand why there's not. Even by the ending, it probably wouldn't make much sense, but dude, this is phenomenal. I wish people would understand how classical things like this and Dark Ride are, especially to how people like myself who love slasher movies. This is wonderful. I loved it. I think it's amazing. It's even better this time around with all the finer details I'm paying attention to this time after already seeing this a couple of years ago. It's amazing. It's such a great Halloween film to watch. If you want something different from your typical cannon fodder that people talk about, this is a really, really good one to try out. Anyway, when it comes to Haunt, if I had to rate this 2019 thriller, slasher, whatever you want to call this, on a 5-star basis, it's easily, hands down, getting a 5 out of 5 stars for me. It's so well made, so well directed for people who I don't even think had done much directing up to this point. They already were fantastic screenwriters, but man, this, to me, is better than something like A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place is a phenomenal movie, don't get me wrong, but this is way better in my opinion. At least it's up my alley more. I love it. I love it deeply. Anyway, have you seen Haunt? What do you think about it? Put your thoughts and comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Would you like a sequel? Do you think there's any possibility we could get some kind of sequel at all? I would love to see something like that. Shudder, get on it, dude. I love those guys. I don't even have a Shudder account. I just watch a lot of stuff that they put out on DVD and whatever. And I love this, amazingly. I think it's so great. Anyway, 5 out of 5 stars for me. What do you guys think about Haunt? Put your thoughts and comments down below once again. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless you all, and goodbye.